next guest is a true friend to our show, and he's also the host of one of the longest-running court shows in TV history. And today he's here to dish about his next chapter starring his beautiful family.
Ew.
Please welcome Judge Greg Mathis.
Judge Mathis!
So good to see you.
Good to see you.
Hey.
Okay.
Detroit in the
house, you know.
Welcome.
Welcome back to the show. It's always good to see you.
One of my favorite places to be.
You know what? I'm just so proud, you know, because being a fellow Detroiter, to see someone like you, you know, from the hometown, make it like this.
Real
and you're
Detroit.
receiving the Hollywood star on the Walk of Fame.
So major.
I mean, that's just huge.
Very grateful.
It's gonna happen next month. How excited are you?
I'm excited more for my grandchildren.
Really?
Yes, because, you know, when they get older, I'll be gone. Not too distant future.
A long time from now.
Give me a couple of decades or so.
Okay.
Lord.
They'll be able to show their friends when they go
Legacy.
down. Let's go hang out in Hollywood.
Yeah.
That just happens to be my granddad. So no, it's for them to take pride in what I've done and to be able to feel that pride.
It is
That's
a
great.
beautiful legacy that you are creating.
Yes.
And I also know that you just recently had a birthday, and I'm like, what does Judge Mathis do
I
for his
know.
birthday? How do you celebrate? Did you do anything fun?
You know, one of the things, and that's kind of where I'm at with the star on the Walk of Fame, the personal attention just for celebratory purposes. I like attention to deliver a message that people will listen to.
Yeah,
But just attention for attention's sake, I don't know, I get a little squeamish.
Really?
I don't do birthdays for myself. I don't,
no
you know, I do a
way.
dinner with the family, but no specific birthday day. I went to the dentist on my birthday and had 2 implants. How about that?
No
That's what I
way.
did
Taking
for
care
my
of yourself.
birthday.
Yeah,
Two
he'll take
implants.
care of himself on his birthday.
There you go.
That's what we
Okay.
do in
That's a
Detroit.
nice way to
I
put
would
it.
have
Okay.
never guessed
But
that.
it did hurt.
You
The
know?
dentist for your birthday.
Wow, that's
Full
That's crazy.
surgery. So
That's
I was in
awful.
pain all day.
Oh my gosh.
You know what? This is one of the things that we love about you, Judge Mathis, is just how real you are.
Yeah.
You've also been real about, you know, your struggles coming up. And what advice do you give to parents today that are dealing maybe with their children if they're having difficulty, you know, coming up?
Yeah, certainly. And, you know, most folks know my jail to judge story. And what they don't know is that I was able to rely on the foundation that my mother gave me as a child to overcome my problems as an adult. And most guys I grew up with did not have that. So it was very difficult when they left prison or jail to turn their lives around. I've never met any criminal or ex-offender who at some point in prison or in jail doesn't say, I want to turn my life around. They just don't know where to lead. They don't know how. They haven't been prepared. My mother force-fed education and spirituality, or positive values, if you will, productive values, force-fed it on me and my 3 brothers. Raised in the toughest housing projects in Detroit, single mother, 4 boys. She worked 2 jobs, including midnights. However, she drug us to church, had the deacon come and get us when she couldn't take us.
Yes.
Force-fed us education. She'd always be home by 3:30. 3:30, get at that table, do your work, do a little chapel, read the Bible around the table, go to bed, and then she'd take her nap, and all hell would break loose.
That's real. But those things stay with you. Those things that your
Yes.
parents plant in you, those seeds they plant, they stay with you for the rest of your
Force
life.
feed them, even if they reject it. I rejected it all the way. But when it came time to turn my life around, I had something to go back and lean
That's
to.
right.
That's what the Bible says, raise a child in the way of the Lord, and then they won't depart from it. Huh? I
right.
just-
Judge and a reverend.
That's
Yeah.
right. I love that. And like you just said, despite what you went through, you were actually elected the youngest ever district court judge in the state of Michigan in 1995. Look at that photo right there. What inspired you to want to pursue a career in law?
Because I haven't been in the criminal justice system as a kid, I saw that as part of that criminal justice system are the injustice, particularly toward black youth.
Exactly.
They weren't being given a second chance, even if they were non-violent offenders. I'm all for getting violent offenders off the street.
Of course.
And then rehabilitating them, hopefully. But nonetheless, I didn't see that. All I saw was the tough on crime. Well, I'm tough on crime, but soft, but soft on penalties and more tough on rehabilitation. So I say that to say that inspired me. I said, I want to be a lawyer so I can make a difference in this. And then when I became a lawyer and saw all the judges not giving second chances to nonviolent criminals, mistreating them, I said, now I got to run for judge.
See? And then that's what happens,
Yep.
Well, speaking of the criminal justice system, what are your thoughts on the history appointment of Supreme Court Judge Katanji Brown Jackson?
Most qualified Supreme Court justice that I've seen in modern times. Perhaps second only to her boss, her deceased boss.
Yes.
Where she started her legal career in the most prestigious court and legal background that you can have and the best prepared. And so it can't be this is affirmative action. No, she's more prepared than Clarence Thomas, if you will, the last African-American appointee who benefited from affirmative action.
Right.
So you can't even necessarily attribute it to that or race. No, it's qualified, the most qualified, and thank God it's a woman, and a black woman at that.
And
most
one
qualified
that
judge.
perseveres.
Yeah, it's always been about qualification. Even like when we elected, Barack Obama, it wasn't because he was black, it was because he was qualified.
Right.
Same thing, so it's great to see that,
It's amazing. I love hearing you talk about this because you were literally a political prodigy, and then you decided to leave that and become the host of the Judge Mathis Show in 1999. But looking back over the 20 years that you've been on this show, did you ever think that it was going to be as huge of a success as it's been?
Not at all. As you say, I was a political operative, ran campaigns, and then ran my own for judge and won, and was a popular guy in town based on my political acumen and running campaigns and organizing regular folks. That's a gift that I have to appeal to regular people.
I love
Most politicians can't. Right. So I was valuable in that way.
Yeah.
And so when I ran for judge, they encouraged me to run for mayor because my story had become a national story and et cetera. So I was preparing to do it, and then Hollywood came calling and said, hey, let's put your story on national television. So I said, well, I can inspire more people than I can just managing the city as mayor.
Right.
So that's why I took the job. But I did. I thought it would only last about 3 months.
You can be mayor. You can be Mayor Mathis.
You better talk to the grandkids.
That has a ring to it. Mayor Mathis has a ring. I'm just saying.
I know. But what you said about being an inspiration, you have been on your show. You've been very inspirational, very informative. Out of all the cases that you've, listened to, which one has touched you the most?
There's been a lot. There's been kids who've come on from street gangs who we've helped get into school. One, we got into community college. He came back 2 years later and had his degree and was a minister, a youth minister. We had helped him get out of the street. He said, I want to go to school and get out of the gangs. I had my staff help him, and we got him the resources. The most recent, however, was a woman who came on the show suing her sons for ripping her off. And both of them were drug addicts, heroin addicts. She said, Judge, please help me. And these are Italian folks now. We put different faces on what we think is right, but this is a single woman.
Yeah.
2 adult boys who were ripping her blind because they were addicted to heroin. She pleaded for my help. I talked them in, or ordered them into rehab, and they came back 2 years later. She did thank me profusely because I had changed their lives. They had never gone back on drugs after leaving me.
That's what we're talking about.
Listen, that's what it's about.
That's why you need to be Mayor Mathis.
There we go, Mayor Mathis. But all right, we're going to keep it real because this is the real.
Okay.
And speaking of the success of your show and all of the stories that you've heard, and speaking of drugs, Listen, how are you able to spot that somebody's on drugs? Because even if they tell you, I didn't try no drugs, obviously that meme went viral. It went viral of you being like, let's keep it real. You a crackhead like the whole...
Tell them, Detroit. Tell them.
How?
Well, unfortunately, when the crack epidemic hit the major cities in America as a result of the political entanglement that resulted in the dumping of cocaine in L.A. and then spread around the country, suffered many, many losses of life that I had grown up with, immediate family members addicted and causing a lot of problems for my life and many others' lives. And probably half the people I grew up with, perhaps more than half, were addicted to crack.
That is heartbreaking.
And I've never left the people I've associated with. I still associate, because I don't know anybody else. Most of the people I know outside of my professional life, who you can't really trust, are folks from the hood, you know, and I still associate. Those are my friends and family members. And so that's how I know.
Does your family, do your grandchildren tell you about these things that go up, that go viral? And how you literally, we watch you and this thing, and everybody was dying laughing at how you was going at the situation.
Not yet. And y'all gave me a lot of people gave me a hard time. So they should follow up on Judge Mathis Instagram.
There you go.
And watch the woman who came on 2 days later on my show, and I posted it, where she said, thank you for saving my life because you humiliated me, you called me a crackhead, and that's why I changed my life.
Judge Mathis, you know, I've been saying we from Detroit.
That's right.
What do you think about that 50 Cent, it's a show called BMF, a really great show based on the brothers that were, you know, kingpins. What do you think about that?
Yeah, well, I think the story is a cautionary tale. And we need to pay attention to what's going on with our black youth, because it's still going on now. And the conditions that create the realities that we see on this scripted series, it's real. I've known these guys. I've known them for over 20 years, trying to work and having them to inspire, both while in prison and now out of prison. I have associates who helped get them started in Detroit. So I know these guys. I know that I'm working right now with both Southwest T and his wife and the son, and working first on voter registration for black youth. We did a campaign, Southwest T and I, because that's who they look up to. They listen to Southwest T and Meech more than they listen to me, more than they listen to you. I had my nephew with me, was going to take him. We were in Detroit. He had driven me in a RV because I was scared to get on the plane or get anything. So, and had spent all my money on private planes. So I said, drive me. So we drive to Detroit. I had a meeting. First I say, and tomorrow we're going to Chicago. We're going to stop and see Jesse Jackson in Chicago. I'm thinking he's going to be, Jesse Jackson. Oh, okay. And he's like 28, 30. I say, but I'll be back. I got to go over and see this cat, Southwest T. You ever heard of him for BMF? He went crazy. What? Oh, you got to take me. Oh, everybody. All of him.
All of that.
And I kind of knew it, but that was very dramatic. And so I said, I'm taking this influence and using it where it's needed most. And thank God Southwest T is part of that. And so is Tonisha, his wife, who we had done an episode on Trap Queens. So we're all involved in trying to change and redeem from the damage that was done. My life has been all about redemption. And so Southwest T, at least he said he's about that, and he's showing it.
I love that. Another thing that's incredible is your daughter, Jade, has really been on a crusade to destigmatize mental illness. And why is it so important to just have an open conversation and an honest dialogue about mental health?
Well, if she's honest, she says she went and looked into it because of me.
Oh.
Because I'm crazy. She said, Dad, that stuff you doing on TV, I think I want to become an expert. No,
Yeah.
seriously, she suffers from depression. I suffer from attention deficit. And we know that in our community, it's hard to even tell folks that without being stigmatized. In the black community, they look at you, oh, something wrong with him. Look at his you can tell by look at his eye. But more importantly, the services that are made available in the African American or people of color community, Latino as well, and that is, it's not enough. Privileged kids go to counseling.
Right.
All the time.
Our kids go to jail.
Oh, yeah.
Say that.
All the time.
That's our
so
counseling.
True. So
and
true.
so we need to open the eyes both to the parents who'll understand it's not embarrassing to have your child treated or to have your child in therapy. What is embarrassing is riding up to that prison.
Yeah.
And when they're 18.
Yeah.
So you either do it while they're 10 or treat them while they're 10 or go to visit them in jail when they're 18.
Bring that awareness.
You know what? You are doing it all, Judge Mathis, and you are today going to make an announcement that in June on E, your family will be having a show called Mathis Family Matters.
Yes.
There you go.
Congratulations!
That is so incredible.
Yeah,
Why'd you
love
choose to do this? What is it going to be
You know
about?
what happened? Like, you know, everybody in the industry has been coming to me over the years. Let's try and pitch a new show with you in it. Let's try and do da-da-da-da-da-da. So my son comes to me, right? My youngest son, Amir. Dad, if I get a show, will you be in it? Da-da-da. I said, sure, son, because I'm like, ain't nobody getting a show. Everybody tried for 10 years and everybody came up with nothing yet. Sure, your turn. Yeah. He comes back 6 months later. Dad, I got a show.
No way.
Mathis Family. I said, what's the concept? It's fish out of water. You and Mama and Jay being from Detroit, having that persona. Me and Greg and Kamar being from Beverly Hills, we got that persona. So I said, that sounds like it works. And plus, we'll be able to show America that even if you're a professional family, all of us are professionals, all have our degrees, we all each have our individual problems and challenges in life as well.
Yeah.
Just like everybody else.
Ooh, I can't wait.
And you're going to see that. You're
We
going to see
will see that. We're actually going to see it right now because we have a clip from Mathis Family Matters. Let's check it out.
You know me, Judge Mathis, Emmy-award winning television personality. Be quiet. But when the roll comes off, all rise. I'm just another sucker. Let's bring my coffee, please, somebody. There we go. I'm nicer than Judge Judy.
That looks like so much fun.
It's gonna be so good.
Yes.
Judge Mathis, we love when you stop by, so can you stick around a little bit longer and answer some questions from our real fam?
Absolutely.
All right.
Tell them to be ready, though.
Yes.
There you have it. The judge is staying put, so don't go anywhere. But be sure to check your local listings for Judge Mathis weekdays, and be sure to check out Mathis Family Matters when it premieres June 19th at 10 on E.